I assume that as well.
Okay.
So you're running it from there, Brandolyn?
Well, Kim will run the meeting, but I'll.
Okay, this meeting is called to order at 2:03. We'll take roll call.
Lisa Becker, present.
Jimmy Geary, present.
Dorothy Dillinger, present. Jim Parrish, president.
Frank Thurston, treasurer, present.
And Amy is calling in. Randall is calling in. And Fernando is absent.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll do public comment.
We'll do the pledge first.
Oh, first we'll do the pledge.
Either side.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you want to bring in our crew?
They're gonna do that.
Yeah, during public.
Yes.
Everybody should say hi.
Yeah, they miss her dearly. They should give her a warm hello. You can say hi, Dr. Brock. Hey, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
In the back.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead and introduce what you're doing.
The people's United States Constitution. We the people of the United States, in order to form a perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide the common defense, promote general welfare, and secure the blessing of liberty to ourselves and prosperity. And establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
They were hoping to give some more information too, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
How many branches of government did the Constitution establish?
Three.
And they are?
The legislature and the
Judicial. Okay. Who is in the legislative? Executive
President.
and the judicial.
The Supreme Court.
Okay. You guys have any questions for second grade?
That's impressive.
Thank you. Dawn's very happy. She's cheering for you.
And who can tell me why they established the Constitution? Maggie.
Because they wanted the governments to work better together.
And what did they established the three branches? What else did they establish? What did it do, Killian? That was later. What did the amendments do? You're good. What did those first 10 amendments do? What is that called? Yeah, the Bill of Rights.
The Bill of Rights.
Good job, guys. Hey, can you say thank you?
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
You guys
That
did
was
great.
Yeah, we did great, and we still get recess.
Yay.
Let's go for Right.
Yeah.
I can't let this stuff already happen. That's it. That's it. We go to
That was public comment.
You guys good?
We're good, thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Additional discourse, there is none. Then we want to the approval of the minutes, January 2026 governing board meeting minutes for discussion and possible action.
And I put these in your pile, Brandon, I printed them off for us. And, so you have, those to look at. I had a couple of edits to the minutes.
The January 20th.
The January 20th, yeah. Brandon, are you taking those edits?
Yep, can you see it up on the screen?
You have a file,
List the files.
yeah.
Oh, hold on. I have to be 10% smarter than the computer. Now?
No.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, yes, I will collect the errors.
I had a couple that are really minor, but in a couple of places, Elko Federal Credit Union is listed as ECFU.
Ah, that is this. I just noticed this time right here. I'll get that from my notes and less.
Oh, yeah,
that FCU gets us every time, doesn't it?
yes, it does.
I'll go for that Federal Union.
Yeah. And then under new business, item C, the third paragraph is not, or the third paragraph sentence is not a sentence. It's missing some information at the end. I'm not sure what it was supposed to say.
Under which one?
New business C. It says pay off our debt for, and I assume it just needs to say the furniture.
Furniture. Okay, added.
That was all I had.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of January 20th?
I'll move to approve the minutes as edited.
Second,
I'll second.
motion has been approved and second.
So
All in favor?
I,
All opposed?
Who seconded?
Tim.
Tim.
moving on.
Moving on to the approval of the February 10th, 2026 governing board meeting minutes for discussion and possible action.
I have not seen those minutes, so.
You also have them in your pile. They're a quick one pager.
Yeah, that was the short one.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm sure it's fine.
I don't have minutes.
I'll move that we approve those minutes.
I'll second.
A motion has been made and approved for February 10th governing board meeting minutes. All in favor?
Hi.
I,
Opposed?
So Amy, I'll send these over to you and you just,
Scan and send,
No,
sign,
yeah.
scan, send.
okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Moving on to financial. A, review bank balances of the Federal Credit Union for donations of student generated funds account for discussion and possible action. Mr. Thurston.
Brandon, can you share the documents as much as please?
It's coming. Open. Share. Did it work?
Yep, you got it. Go to page 2, please. All right, so here's our overview. In our savings account, we had no deposits into it. We brought forward 551,000. We had 450,000 leave it. We'll talk about why in a minute. For a final balance of 102,433 and 29 cents. For our EFCU checking account, we brought forward 21,798.59. We deposited $50,000 or $50,030 into it. We had $50,076.29 leave it for a final balance of $21,752.30. For the operational checking account, we brought forward $26,984.71. We had $116,424 deposited into it. $122,711 leaving it for a final balance of $20,697.97. Our organizational checking, we brought forward $4,044.63. We had 370 deposited, nothing else going out of it for a final balance of $4,414.63. Brandon, can you go to the next page, please? The reason we had go to the next page, please. Go back up one. So I apologize. No other way. I did not update this. My copy did across. The reason we had 400,000 leave the account is because we moved 400,000 into a CD. Which is what this page should reflect if I had done my job properly. So anyways, we've got 400,000 in the EFCU CD for a 6-month term. If we don't do anything with it at 6 months, it'll just automatically roll over to another. So that's there making us some money. I forget what our return on 1 month was, $23 or something, I think. Brandon, if you'll go to the summary page, please. And that is included in here. So there was a lot of money that was moving between accounts, which makes this look maybe bigger than it is. But a lot of that was that 400,000 moving, and then the 50,000 we took out of EFCU savings to EFCU checking to Nevada State Bank checking to pay for the furniture. So that's where a lot of the money moving was. But anyways, we started with a little bit over 600,000. We ended with 549,000. For a monthly loss of 54,926.24. We paid 50,000 for furniture, so basically we're operating just below break even if we take the furniture out of the picture for the month. Any questions on that?
How much more is owed on the furniture account?
About $55,000.
And that's being
Well-
paid over a period of,
I should let Brandon answer that because I don't know how much is actually owed, but we've raised enough money to cover the payments coming up. We need to raise about 55,000 more to pay off the rest of it.
Yep, Lisa's correct in that.
So if you know anybody who wants to sponsor a classroom for $25,000,
okay,
that'll be almost halfway there.
yes.
I have a small donation check from one of my neighbors here.
Oh, wonderful. That's exciting. Thank you. Yes.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Hank.
Is that an
Thank you,
action?
Hank.
Okay, so moving on to the financial report from Classical Academy Management for Operations Account at the Nevada State Bank.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Apologize for the voice. It's a little deeper than usual. I'm recovering from a pretty bad cold. All my So I have 5 children. They all they all got this cold and then gave it to me. But anyways, let's see if I can just share my screen real quick. Okay, can you guys see that? Yeah, or oh wait, just one sec. Now
Yes.
now can you guys see the financial report?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. All right, so there's a financial report for Nevada Classical Academy Elko for January. So these are all accrual financials, meaning try to match the best that we can the expenses for the month and the revenue coming in for the month. Here's the balance sheet. This also does not include the donation account. So this is just the operating accounts. So cash as of January 31st, we can see is 19,000. This is the PCFP receivable because you guys receive it the right after, like the first of the month on the month after that the month it was for. Here's prepaid insurance, 15,000. So these are amounts that are, insurances for the whole year, and we're expensing a portion every month. And so that balance is 15,000 as of 1/31/2026. There's 11,000 in prepaid rent, and this is the supply inventory. And here's the furniture. So we're putting the furniture on the balance sheet as it gets paid. Brandon, if you want to send the kind of the terms of the finance thing, I can put that on the balance sheet as well once we have that to update for the furniture.
Okay, I can do that.
Accounts payable 11,000, and then the credit card 1,500 balance as of 1/31/2026. Here's a cash balance kind of summary over time. As you can see, 19,000 as of January 31st, 2025. Okay, here is the statement of activities, or some people call it a profit and loss statement. So total operating revenue 737. So I have been adding the donations in as they come across and are transferred from the donation account into the operating account. So far through January 31st, you'll see that total is 230 that has been transferred over. I think this 50,000 might have just been a donation that got put in, or maybe it was transferred, but that showed up in January. So this other revenue is like just I think in January we did receive another item from the state that was this other revenue.
That was SPED money.
Yeah, the SPED money.
IDEA money, federal money.
So that's what this is. And then the PCFP is the straight per pupil funding. And I am adjusting this based on the current student population. So salaries and benefits, 400,000 through January 31st. And that is, this revenue has been adjusted, but this ratio typically is at, I like to see that like 60% or below. So that's under the 60%. And then so overall the positive net change in assets, including these donation amounts, was 20,000 through January 31st, 2026. And the rent percentage is actually really good, 10%. Other kind of facilities has been closer to 20%. So I think that's that's a positive. And then general and administrative expenses, 32% of the overall statement of activities. If you were to take out this donation amount, so you would be running at a change in net asset deficit of about 26 to 27,000 a month, and you'd need about 35 to 40 more enrolled to make this statement of activities break even. So for next year, I know that's the numbers that everybody has been shooting for. Okay, this is the statement activities against the drafted budget. Now, there still needs to be some work with some of these columns, but I think overall on the, oh shoot, just a second. I think overall on the summary totals, we're tracking pretty well, as you can see. Revenue is over. Salaries and benefits is under, so that's good. And then we're a little over on general and administrative. Hopefully that'll smooth out towards the end of the year. You can see this variance, this 50,000, and then rent is on par. And we're actually a little ahead in the change in net assets, 20,000 versus the 5. This is the overall, this is the yearly budget. And so for this draft, we just go through here on the months in total. And then this is the expense as a percentage, the total expenses as a percentage. So you can see salaries 56, rent 11%, the professional fees 19%, and then so on down the line. Actually, yeah. So that's the whole summary. Any questions for me on any of this?
I have one. So how do you define professional fees? You're budgeting $132 grand for that? What is that? What does that mean?
Yeah, so the professional fees I know included are CAM. I think janitorial is also in there as well.
Janitorials and professional fees?
Yes.
It looks
What
like
else is in there,
there's a
Colleen?
breakdown right in the middle that has everything underneath it under professional fees, advertising. See it all? Depreciation, insurance.
Insurance.
Well, so so those aren't
all of those
included in there.
Those are all sub accounts.
Yes.
Professional fees.
Yeah.
Just one sec.
Down to
What else is in
technology.
professional fees?
Yeah,
Besides
that's
CAM
very confusing.
That's anything, professional fees is anything like that you contract out, like somebody that's provided by somebody else. Professional.
Yeah, so the professional fees, there's anything that's contracted out. So like janitor, the CAM fees are in there.
Right.
Any,
So you have, advertising and promotion,
Yeah.
depreciation, insurance, all that's under the heading of professional fees?
no, depreciation and insurance are different. So
Then
professional fees is its own category.
Yeah.
Advertising promotions its own category. Let me just one sec.
that needs to be broken down. Somewhere you need to tell us where that's going.
Yeah, so this is a summary. I can pull up the sheet and maybe,
Brandon?
Well, I mean, you don't have to do it right now, but I just think that needs clarification, at least from mine.
Yeah.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I can send you Brandon's source sheet that
Oh, I have
summarizes
a
all
better
this.
report. I have a report. Nobody cares about my report.
Colleen has a nice report that breaks these down a lot
Brandon's
better,
got my report. I sent it to her.
that we can share. We've been working on it, so we haven't shared it with the board because we're still tidying up some of the last few details, but we can share that, which gives a better breakdown.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all I'm asking.
Brandon, look at my report. I can.
Okay, yeah, so I think we'll make sure to get that to you.
Thank you.
That would be great.
If the CAM fees are embedded in the professional fee, so that's over 4,000 of the 9,000 monthly, right?
Yeah, and I think the janitorial is like 3,500.
So that's almost all of it. And then maybe some other contracted, like your psychologist or something like that.
Yeah, psychologist would definitely be in there.
Speech
Nurse.
Yeah, that's
pathologist,
all well and good,
OT.
guys, I mean, but, I mean, that just needs a little bit of clarification is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We have it. We can give it to you.
Great question.
If nobody has any more questions. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys. Yeah, we'll make sure to get that broken down for you and sent over to Randolyn, and then she can forward it on to you guys.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move on to number 6, the school leader report from Dr. Thron.
Everyone's got it. I give to.
There we go. This should be in your binder, and let me share again just so I can see it as I'm talking about it. Okay. All right. So we continue to foster classical education, and then I should have put on here that I'm at the conference this week. So I'm down here in Arizona at Great Hearts Classical Education Conference that starts tomorrow with a special session on special education in a classical school. And then we'll be talking classical education for the next 2 days. So I'm super excited about that. Next section, all of the leadership of all the teams and management. So I did end up bringing on a second part-time sub for special ed because we have so many services we have to provide, as well as managing our our paperwork. So Emma Campbell is our new part-time SPED, and she's here on Wednesdays and Fridays. So now we have a SPED person in the building all 5 days of the week, which is super helpful. And Emma is really helping with getting our paperwork in order. So that's, I think, going to work out well. We announced our year 2 teacher openings, and I have received some applications for those. So this next month, March, I'll be working on the staffing plan for year 2 and what that looks like. And we'll talk about that at our next board meeting in March. And a behavioral assessment is being started through Crossroads Behavioral with Michelle Canning and her team, looking at our whole school and working to identify where we can establish some protocols to standardize a lot of our procedures. That's what's causing a lot of frustration right now, is because we're new and we don't have some standardized protocols throughout the school. So we're going to work on that. So they're doing an assessment over the next several weeks, and then they'll give us a report. And then through some fortunate circumstances with some of the children in our school, we actually have access to 4 hours, I believe it was 4 hours per month training with Michelle. So that's going to work really well, and we'll be able to address some of these things that are distracting us from learning. So, and I'll give a report about that at the next It'll either be the March board meeting or the April. We'll see when that report comes back from them. Parent communication, Jamie Donovan is leading up our Parent Teacher Association interest. And so an email went out to the entire school as well as a flyer, and she's got some feedback and interest. So that will be standing up, and that's going to be super helpful with regards to creating some cultural events for our school, fundraising for school things. So that'll be good to get that up and running. School handbooks, there's nothing to report, but the next one, the relations with the governing board, in March, I'm going to share with you some additional policies and operating procedures that we'll be adding to our employee handbook, and some of that will go into the school handbook based on things that we're learning this year. And those are things like volunteer expectations, familial relations, the learning triad. This is the relationship between the school, the parent, and the student. Teasing that out and having them really understand our belief on that, our philosophy. And then birthday celebrations. That's ballooning into a beast of its own. So we have to standardize that a little bit. So you'll see those on the March agenda, like I said, and that's just so you're aware, and you can help create those so that they best serve our school. The SPCSA did come into our building, as some of you were part of that process. They had the teacher focus group, the leadership focus group, the board focus group, the parent focus group. We did receive our report back from that with the only really outstanding issue that we had was we don't have McKinney-Vento posters up, and that's the Homeless Act that we have to get a poster up in our front office. I'll share with you that final report when we receive it. So they were pleased with our school and we're off to a good start. So that's awesome. Nothing to report with regards to Hillsdale, Grand Canyon. Joe and I worked and we finished our first internship together, and I have one more content and 2 more internships. So we're getting close to the end. And the budget. At March, we'll put a current budget topic on our agenda so we can dive into the budget as it sits now, and then what we're planning for year 2 and with our updated enrollment realizations. And so we'll go into deeper depth in the March meeting for that. Number 11, we've been crazy busy testing our kiddos. We did WIDA. WIDA is for English learners to assess their capacity of the English language. We had three first and second graders that we had to test. It's a whole process in and of itself. A lot of schools have an EL program and they have someone dedicated to EL, English learners. Your fearless school leader is your EL person here at Nevada Classical. So I have learned a lot about English learners and giving assessments. So stressful, but we got it done. We completed our winter map data in the nick of time. And then we have attended SBAC training, which is for our 3rd graders. 3rd grade and above get SBAC. That's the Smarter Balance test that's used to compare throughout the state. And again, it's a little bit of a beast of its own, but Renee, myself, Valerie Applegate, and Megan Mars all went to that training. So I think we have a good plan, and it's wonderful that we are just starting as a small school with 15 kids so we can work out the bugs. So that's great. And then our spring map data will be collected the week of May 18th. So we're really getting these systems figured out that you have to do it to learn it. And Renee has been really phenomenal rostering the kids, coordinating the test sessions. There's a lot of back office coordination that has to happen, and Renee's been doing a great job with all that. With regard to marketing, Lisa and Renee have been working on getting flyers to all of the preschools. We have signed up to attend the kindergarten fair on April 18th. We're active on Facebook and just keep doing all the things we can do for marketing. And then there was nothing else to report other than the facility. Number 14, the heater in that room you're sitting in continues to give us fits. And Steve We've gone through 2 HVAC companies. Steve is they don't know what's going on. It works, it doesn't work. So that's a facility frustration, but it is what it is. I don't know how we beat that one yet. Do you have any questions? That's my report for this month.
With the MAPS testing, Brendolyn, are we gonna see results of that at the next meeting?
Yes, I'll give you a comparison at the next meeting.
Can you give us a preview? How'd we look?
Good. Because definitely some growth, not tons. They were pretty close together because we were at the very end of the fall window. So we really didn't have that many weeks of instruction. I haven't dove into them deeply, but they're encouraging, certainly encouraging. We're seeing growth. Yeah.
That's what we wanted to hear.
Yeah. No,
That's
they're
Brandolyn,
yes.
how much of a discrepancy is there in the test items from SBAC versus what the curriculum at our school is teaching? Like, is there a lot of overlap, or how's that working? Do you know?
Yeah, we've been looking into this, and there are a few things that the Nevada State Content Standards cover that Hillsdale does not, but we know what those are, and so Mrs. Mars is aware of those. The other aspect is there's a timing, so it's not that they're not present in the Hillsdale curriculum, but that there are some topics that need to be moved forward so that they're taught before the SBAC, because they are taught later in the Hillsdale curriculum. So Mrs. Mars and I have been working on that, and we're aware of it, and we're aligning it. And that's why we went to that training, is to get some more information about how to prepare our students. Our biggest concern is generally that because our students are only on computers 45 minutes a week, they're not as technologically savvy. They're typing, their mouse work, we're not propagating those skills per se, but Mrs. Mars has a plan over the next few weeks up until that week of April 20th to be working with her students, very intentional on what the skills they need versus with the technology and the typing, so that those kids can be successful. But as far as content, that's pretty well aligned. It really is well aligned.
Good. That's good.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay, Brandolyn, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Move on to number 7, committee reports. There are none. Old business number 8, review and approve school year 26-27 calendar. Dr. Strong for discussion and possible action.
So let me pull this up. You have a copy of it in your folder. So this is
Maybe my glass.
share. So this is the proposed calendar. It aligns with Elko County, like based on our last discussions. So it does align with Elko County. However, I'm going to zoom in here so I can see it better. Hopefully you guys can still see it, and you have your paper copy. So a couple of things to note. It does align with Elko County School District calendar, so we are minimizing confusion for parents. It still provides us the week of training up here in July to go down to Founders and to train with them before we start school, so that works out well still. We do incorporate Fair Day. So Friday, September 4th is traditionally Fair Day. So that will be an off Friday with that for the Labor Day weekend. All of our Fridays will be early out so that we can focus on meet and move and staff training in the afternoon. We think that will be better for our attendance as well. I did increase some of our days off to match our the highest attendance, how do you say it? The highest, lowest attendance, the days that have the lowest attendance, so that we can try to maximize our attendance, because I'm very concerned that that's what's going to really drive some of our numbers when the state starts assessing that, because every Friday that's associated with a holiday, the attendance is very low because Elko County is already off and they're taking a 3-day holiday, so they make it a 4-day. So you'll notice I've added Fridays that are before the holidays. So like December 18th will be an off day for us. It gives our students and teachers an extra holiday, but it also, I think, will, like I said, will help us with attendance. And you'll see the same thing in January and February. Those 3-day weekends or 4-day weekends for us, because of that, taking those Fridays off, recognizing that that's when we have the lowest attendance. Same with spring break, so the Friday before. And then April, there's one professional development day here. And the last day of school would be May 27th. I included the minutes down here, so we're over the state required minutes for both K2 and 3rd and 4th. And then I learned when I was working with the state, I actually need to improve our calculation of minutes. So our minutes will actually be higher than this, because I realized on my spreadsheet that I'm counting additional non-instructional time that can be counted as instructional time. So bottom line is we're over the minutes that's required by the state. So there's 170 with this schedule, there's 171 school days, 139 of those days are full days, 32 early out days, which includes 2 sets of parent conferences, and 32 non-school days. Any questions, comments, concerns, ideas to improve this?
Brandon, I assume you'll give us an update when you calculate those minutes, because on my copy at least, it's just X's.
Oh, oops, yes. Yes, once I finalize, I'll go through this with a fine-tooth comb one more time. And actually what I have to do is put all of this into Infinite Campus, and then Infinite Campus calculates the official minutes. And so once I do that, once I know we're all in agreement that this is the plan we want to go with, I will do all of that, and then the final numbers and all of that is calculated through Infinite Campus, and I'll share that with everyone. Yes, the final one will be updated. Oh, the other thing that we added per teacher request, we actually have 3 teacher conference opportunities. So we have the conference opportunity in August before school starts, and then the teachers requested a parent-teacher conference opportunity in October. So we've added that in, and then we also then again have one in March. So we'll actually have a total of 3 parent-teacher conference opportunities, which is also a little different with having that additional time for parents to meet with the teachers.
On that, Brandolyn, I'm curious what sort of reception you've gotten from parents with this week having 3 early out days in a row, and whether that's something that's manageable for parents.
I'm not there, so I'm not hearing any scuttle. We tried to do our best to, communicate that as much as frequently as possible. And then next year we will have after school care options available. So that would help on those early outs. We could, parents would be able to take advantage of our after school care program.
Yeah, I think that could help a lot. I know, despite your many efforts to communicate, I know several people who were surprised about that coming this week.
Yeah.
And I think they were all people who could manage it fine. So I'll be curious to see whether that's a model that can continue next year, depending on sort of how this week goes and if it is problematic.
Yeah. Yep. It's a good question.
My other comment as a parent looking at this is I was very happy to see these Fridays on the long weekend
That was a really good choice. And then I'm also very happy to see the half day every Friday. I've talked to several parents who want either no Fridays or at least half day every Friday. So I think there will be a lot of parent support for that. And again, it's hard having a 3-day weekend for us and the 4-day weekend for the school district on those longer holiday weekends and having to decide if we put our kid in school on Friday or, go somewhere with our friends for the weekend. So that's a nice compromise with the school district. I'm curious about the full week at Thanksgiving.
So again, data show that those are low attendance days. A lot of people travel Monday, Tuesday. The last year we took Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And so what happens, people think, oh, well, I'll just take Tuesday off because we're off Wednesday. So we don't have to do it. Obviously, we can put back Monday and Tuesday, but it's a naturally low attendance, 2 really low attendance days.
I think it's great. I'm quite happy to have the whole week off for exactly the reasons that you said. So it's nice to be able to point to specifically to the data that there are a lot of people who don't come those days anyway. And that's a time when people want to spend time with their families and be able to travel.
And for teachers too, it's nice to have those 2 extra days before.
Yeah.
The Wednesday, Thursday.
But that's not aligned with the school district, correct?
Correct. School district goes Monday, Tuesday, half day Wednesday, I think.
Okay.
The other thing that with that is, so the learning triad, I spoke to you earlier about the parent, the teacher, or the parent, the school, and the student, and our philosophy of learning. As this is part of what a little bit of an experiment, I suppose, is working that when we are in school and we are doing school really well, and then we take breaks because we've earned the break because we've been working hard. And so I think this is that philosophy of learning that we really want our culture to be built on, is that we work hard and we play hard. That idea that we earn playtime because we've gone hard and we've worked hard. And so some people would argue, like, I think another piece of education and school days is we have to ask, are they functional days and are we actually learning and teaching on them, or are we just in school to be in school? So there's some different philosophies on that. And so that's one thing I'd like to really start working with our parents, is help them understand that we are going to expect your children to be there on Fridays, but like Lisa's saying, we're also going to respect that there is time for family and we honor that, and that's okay too. And that we teach our children that concept of work hard, play hard, so that they can learn that balance and learn that concept as they go into adult life.
Really important.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then just remember, this isn't forever and ever. Once we become a standalone building, we can go back and do some things a little bit different. But until then, it's very important that we minimize complexities for families if possible.
Mm-hmm.
We need a motion to accept the.
I guess that's a question for Brandon. Is she asking us to approve this today?
Is she
Asking us to approve this today?
Oh, so I need to say,
Just ask
Just ask Brandon if she's asking for our approval.
Brandon, are you asking for approval?
If you're prepared to approve it, yes. If not, we do have to have it approved. I believe I have to have it approved and submitted by April. So we could still look at it one more time in March if needed. But I could also just update you on the final numbers to confirm we're above state required minutes, which we will be. So that's the pleasure of the board, which way you want to go on that.
So is there a motion to approve the school year calendar as it stands?
I'll move to approve the school year calendar as it stands, with the caveat that the minutes are enough for the state requirement.
Is there a second?
Also, I'll second it. I think it's very well thought out.
Okay, so we'll move on to new business number 9.
Oh, vote, you have to vote.
Call for discussion.
Oh,
Discussion of those. You're doing great.
I'm, but, okay, all in favor?
Point of order I'd like to discuss first. Like with a lot of things, I'm not comfortable voting for it until we see the final numbers. So if we vote, all abstain.
Well, with that, I think that if we can, Brandolyn, is it okay since Hank has those reservations? If we wait until the next meeting when you get those minutes nailed down?
Yeah, we can vote, and we can put it on the March agenda again.
But the motion already includes, it stipulates we have to be above those minutes, so. Is that really an issue?
For me, it is. I'm not going to vote on information I don't have.
So has the motion been tabled?
No.
No.
So the motion's on the table, so you just have to ask for a vote.
Okay. So is there a vote for
Just
the
say
calendar to be,
all in favor of the calendar.
all in favor of the calendar to be approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I'm,
Any opposition? It's not the word.
Yeah, and then just note that Hank abstains.
No.
And Hank has abstained from voting.
I don't know if he can abstain, but he can vote no, I believe, because you have to abstain, you have to have.
I can choose not to vote.
Yeah, or just vote no, that because you want the numbers.
Well, I'm not opposed to it. I just don't have the information to make an opinion yet.
So is that an abstention? Abstention?
Yeah, I think you have an abstention.
Okay.
So that the motion passes with majority with one
Yeah.
abstention.
So the motion passes with a majority with one abstention. Now we'll move on to new business.
Thank you.
Thank you. Review and approve updated bylaws and board policies. Lisa Becker for discussion and possible action.
So I sent all of these documents out to everybody, a couple of weeks ago, and then we sent them again. I didn't get any feedback from anyone, so there aren't any additional edits to consider at this point. If you need them, Brandolyn printed a copy. If you want to look at either of them, she printed a copy of both the policies and procedures manual and the bylaws. We have talked about these a lot, got very detailed required edits and recommended edits from the SPCSA legal counsel. I incorporated those into the best of my ability and then reached out to Katie McConnell, and she incorporated them in the rest of the way to make sure that we are covered with what the SPCSA required, the edits the SPCSA required. So we need to vote to approve these, barring any additional edits. And we also, they said the governing board policies and procedures manual, the bylaws, and then the code of ethics policy, which is the other one that I sent to you. I have copies of that if you want to look at it. We also have a conflict of interest policy that's part of that code of ethics. So once these are approved, we'll have Amy sign off on them. So we have our official signed copy as well as the bylaws. So any discussion, any edits? Any comments on the edits that are in there?
I had a new edit.
Sure.
Under section K, number of tenure, description of officers.
Which document are you in?
The bylaw.
In the bylaw. Okay.
In section 3.
Section 3. You're under, sorry, tell me again, what?
It was under condition or board member. Should print out the whole page, just print out the page I had. Subsection K.
Approval resignation. Okay, I'm in the right spot now.
And
So you are in the bylaws
this is a very long.
on page 4.
Yep,
Page 4.
yep. Oh, I could have told you the page number. I had my thumb over it.
That's all
Sorry.
I saw it.
Section 3 below, subsection 3 below K.
Okay,
And throughout the reading of it, everything was listed as him or her or he or she. And I found a single him in there,
okay.
if that's a big thing for.
It's our bylaws, so it's a good idea to fix it. So,
It's
him,
be
her.
the third,
yeah, the fourth one in
Sentence.
there.
yeah.
The chair shall not individually have the, or sorry, it was.
Such
duties as
powers
may from
duties,
time to time be
Kind
assigned to him
of or her,
or her.
that was that.
Okay,
Where are we? 4 on page 4?
Page 4, section K, subsection 3, I think it's the
on
third.
chair. It's the section
Under the
about
chair. It's very minimal, it's just adding her. Because that's throughout the document, we go through him, her, he, she,
Okay, did we
So-
say him or her?
him or her, I would.
Okay.
Use student.
All right, thank you for that.
And-
That tells me that you read it and I appreciate it.
And section F on page 8.
Okay.
Get the page number,
Page
with the edit that's on there.
8. Of course,
Page 8, section F.
notice.
I wasn't sure how must are we getting rid of occur also right there?
Contested, yes, I will delete
That
that
was-
out,
that
thank
was-
you,
These are pretty minimal, I'm sorry.
but no, it's good to clean it up.
I'm not following you the other year.
Page 8,
I'm at 8.
under notice, section
Page
F,
Here,
notice.
eight.
It might
Oh,
be
you don't
D.
have it's the rewrite one,
It-
with the rewrites.
it might say D on your, it might be section D.
It was just, we had 2 musts in the same
Yes.
place.
It was a duplicate.
Put that in.
Just a duplicate word.
Yeah, so obviously what's in my folder.
No, it's different than what the updated version, which is what I emailed to you,
Okay.
but I have it here,
But I didn't
let me
even
see it.
No, that's okay. I just was
I can show you.
confused by the.
They were
numbers
different
and the
things.
dash.
Okay.
No big deal.
That's all I have.
Okay, other comments, feedback?
Lisa,
I did-
is this the one that has the 2,500 or is that the policies?
I
think
think
it's the
that's the
policies.
policies, that's what I was just gonna move to. If
Okay.
there are no additional comments or edits on the bylaws. Brandolyn, did you have any comments or edits, or Amy on the bylaws?
No, and I captured those that Tim
No.
pointed out.
And I've made them here as well. I'm happy to clean these up and send them to you if you want after the meeting.
Yes, I'd love that.
Okay, then if we move on to the governing board policies and procedures manual. That had similar edits. There weren't as many required by SPCSA, but there were a few that I had to make because they had changed in the bylaws, but not in the policy manual. But there was one specifically that I asked Brandolyn to look at, which is under the finances.
I think it's at the very end.
I think it is. And so the requirement for what we have to send to SPCSA and have approved before March 1st is the bylaws, the manual, and then this code of ethics, which is part of our board manual. But we also have a standalone single item that I can hand out in a minute. Under financial policies, in section. I thought it was in there. Isn't that where it was, Brandolyn?
I'm not seeing it, but yeah, where?
It out either. Maybe it was in the bylaws.
I searched and I didn't see it.
I'm gonna go back to the bylaws here.
Is it the section about how we're not supposed to solicit on behalf of the government entities?
No, that section we did update based on Katie's
Okay.
feedback. This is a section about, approving expenses.
Oh, over $2,000.
Yes.
I remember
Yes.
seeing.
I think
Is
it
that
must
bylaw?
be in the bylaws.
Where was that, Tim? You, sounds like.
I just looked at it.
Oh, here, it's in the bylaws. It's at the bottom half of page 11, section 12. Contracts, loans, and deposits. And I wanted to make sure this update was made, with feedback. It was feedback from Katie that we utilized to make the update. I want to make sure that it's a functional way to manage finances so that the school can do what it needs to do. So under section A, contracts, it says the board may authorize any officer or officers, agent or agents to enter into any contract or execute and deliver any instrument in the name of and on behalf of the school, and such authority may be general or confined to specific purposes. The school administration may approve contracts that do not exceed $2,000 without receiving prior board approval. Any contracts that exceed this amount must be approved by the board in advance of signing.
Wow.
So I asked Brandolyn to look into that, and provide a recommendation as to whether that would work within daily operations.
The dollar amount.
The dollar specifically.
Does that mean the board would have to approve every teacher contract then?
Well, and that's part of why that seemed like a very low amount to me. Brandolyn, your thoughts?
It feels low, and I think that will tie our hands if we need to make a decision that we need to act on quickly. I did talk to EIAA, and they suggested maybe 5,000. They go up to 10,000 if I remember correctly. I think 5,000 would be fine. I think that, and the truth is, we would cover that. We would have been having conversations up to that point to know, so there shouldn't be ever any surprises. But 2,000 seems like that might slow business operations down in the event we need to make a quick turnaround for something. But we also can always just meet and have a board meeting. We can have a board meeting if needed as well.
What do our bylaws provide for a situation like that to be handled by email?
Oh, to vote by email, Hank?
Yeah, if you email us and say, hey, I'd like to sign this contract for these reasons, can we handle that without a?
Yes, we can. Yes. I think I would have to see exactly where it is, but I know like we have allowed for electronic. We have participation by telephone in here. I mean, I guess for the purposes of open meeting law, are we allowed to vote by email? I don't know the answer to that.
You can't vote by proxy, but
No, and we have that written clearly in here. You can't vote by proxy.
I don't think you can.
It may require calling a meeting. I don't think you can either. I was thinking we had put something in here about email, but
I don't remember seeing anything about email.
Yeah.
So,
so it sounds like it would require calling a meeting.
yeah, we would have to just have it.
above that minute.
To me, $2,000 seems like a low amount.
Yes.
I mean, 5 sounds a little more reasonable, and yet still within, some governance on our part about where your money's going, but $2,000 doesn't go very far these days.
I mean, neither does 5, really.
Well, no, but
Most people want to make that 10,
Yeah, I would be inclined. So.
especially because if we have a situation where that has to be done in a timely manner, that requires us to get a board meeting, and even the last budget one, we barely had a forum.
Yeah,
And I think we could do a video meeting that is allowed by our bylaws, but it would still have to be posted and all of those things. So,
I'd say we bump it. We don't need a motion, we can just change it because we're voting. on the
Yep.
document, right?
yep, we can just change it here and then vote to approve the document.
What do we feel good with, 5 or 10?
I'm good with either one, whatever anybody thinks. Brandon, what do you want?
Yeah, what's good for you?
We could go in the middle and do 8,000.
I was thinking.
Me
I was thinking, well, working for the school district, I think it was for principals like that, it was 8,000 before we had to go outside.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Hank, are you?
8,000.
Sure.
That's fine.
Let's,
Okay. I have made the edit to not exceed $8,000 without receiving prior board approval.
So we need to make a motion.
We're almost there. So I just handed around the single page governing board code of ethics policy and the conflict of interest policy. I'm just gonna ask everybody to take 2 minutes and please read them right now. And let me
Already
know
read them.
if you have any edits. Unless you already read them, then you can let me know now if you have any edits. We sign off on this. We have to sign off on it every year. Amy, next time you're at the school, I'll have copies for you, or you can print it off and bring your own copy, to have a signed copy. And then every year it says we will review them and we sign them. So,
This is similar to the first ethics policy that was created and signed.
yes,
I mean, there's nothing.
yes.
Yeah.
Most people in this room have already read and approved this policy.
Yeah.
I found a couple of like minor errors, typo sort of errors that I fixed. And I think one of them didn't say the governing board. I think it said the board of directors. So I went through and changed them all to governing board. And then I updated the logo. That's all I did. But I would like to include these as our code of ethics when we do the vote on all 3.
So would you like us to sign this now?
No, you don't need to sign that. Only Amy needs to sign these. I just want you to read them and tell me if you have any concerns. And then I will have you sign a paper in the minutes. All right, any comments, concerns, edits? All right, and I think we're ready to vote on these 3.
So we need to make a motion.
What do we each individually, can we do as a blanket?
It's fine with me if we do them all together. I don't.
For approval of
All the
the
same agenda items.
I think we can just do them at once. Bylaws,
the approval of the
bylaws and the board policies,
bylaws for policy
conflict of interest.
and the code of ethics, conflict of interest policy.
I'll make the motion to accept all the documents as written with approved edits.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion has been approved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
But you give the deadline.
I know I'm supposed to say something.
All in favor?
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And I just have one more quick thing on that. As part of the bylaws and the code of ethics, we all have to sign a conflict of interest policy. So I had Brandolyn print these off. Please sign them and give them back to me before you leave today. And Amy, I'll put yours with your other paperwork. And this is the same. I changed the logo on it. It's the same one that we used last year. Okay, thank you.
So I'll take one of these, Lisa. that-
Yeah, just take one and pass it down. You can do it after, but I'll make sure I grab them from you.
So you just need this before we leave.
Yes, I need this before you leave. It's pretty quick, front and back. Filled out and signed before you leave.
Okay, so we're moving on to new business item B. Accept the resignation of board member Fernando Vargas effective February 6th, 2026, and declare vacancy on the board for discussion and possible action. Is there a motion to approve?
I just handed out, we have copies of his resignation letter so that everybody can read it. So I just pass those around.
Should we read that into the record or is that necessary?
I would think so, Amy. Do you have a copy or do you want one of us to read it?
If you would mind, I've seen it already, but yeah, since you guys are there, it's gonna be better.
Okay, you want to read this into the record?
Need to read this?
That's Amy's, yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. Dear Dr. Thron and members of the NCAE board, with sincere gratitude, I submit my resignation from the Nevada Classical Academy Elko Board of Directors, effective immediately. Serving this school has been a privilege, and I will cherish the relationships, the mission, and the incredible work of the founding board, school board, and generous community. This decision has been difficult, but due to ongoing health issues that require my full attention, I need to step back from my board service. Thank you for the opportunity to serve alongside such dedicated and caring people. I will continue to support and celebrate the school in every way I can. With appreciation, Fernando Vargas.
Well, I'll make a motion that we accept the resignation of Fernando, regrettably, but I think that, you know, he's had a lot on his plate lately, so. Probably in his best interest, so I make that motion to accept the resignation and declare a vacancy to be, I think, filled as soon as possible.
We have a list of potential board members. Or people who offered or expressed an interest.
We should probably get a second on the motion. Then we can talk about it.
I'll second the motion.
Sorry,
No, fine.
okay. So motion has been approved and seconded. Any discussion?
I'd like to make what I hope will be considered a friendly amendment to that motion. That for the record, we just state in that motion our sincere gratitude for all of Fernando did for us.
It was a friendly motion, so it can just be added without vote to the original motion.
As long as it's okay with you.
Yeah, I don't see a problem there. You made the motion, so you have to say yea or nay.
Yea or nay to the friendly amendment?
Yes,
Yes, I think the friendly amendment's lovely.
so that was our discussion, so we can vote on it. Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to public comment. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters not on the agenda for action. No action may be taken on a matter raised under this item of the agenda until the matter itself has been specifically included on an agenda as an item upon which action will be taken. Any public comment? No? Item 11, board member reflection, time provided for the board to reflect on items addressed by public comment and or items that need to be set on the agenda for future meetings for discussion. I had contacted and spoken to a representative at the Guild Mortgage last year. And at the time, at the conclusion of our meetings, they were not interested in providing financial support, but they were interested in possibly providing physical support at the school, personnel or volunteer support. And then she also mentioned that they would be interested in providing uniforms for students that might need that. And then I reached out to her again, and I'm going to do a presentation for their board in March. And so we'll see where that goes.
And you with him, I'm sorry?
Guild Mortgage.
Oh, great.
They had reached out to Brandolin initially. And so I've made contact and we had a few meetings. And like I said, they declined financial support, but they offered the other support. But then when I spoke with them again, she would like us to come to a board meeting and do a presentation. So I'll do that in March.
Great.
Cool.
I just have a couple of things. One, I'm still working on the gravel, Amy, for the fire escape thing or evacuation. And then Brandolin, Kathy Smith, I went and retrieved the rest of the paintings in Salt Lake. So I'm gonna bring those by the school if that's okay. And leave them maybe just in the front hall. And then second, we had a CAM meeting, board directors meeting this morning, and you're going to be getting the new contract for CAM, which is going to have to be approved at our March meeting. And there is going to be a modest increase of about $313 for our CAM fees next year. Those should be going out to you, Brandolin, within the next few days. And again, it'll go, I'll send it to Katie as soon as we get it for her approval. Also a copy to all of you for your review. And it does, like I say, it does represent a $313 increase. And it does need to be approved and on the agenda for the March meeting.
Is that per payment
No, for the year.
for the year?
For the year.
Any other board reflection?
Just a quick logistics issue. I will be there Thursday, Lisa. So if you just want to leave the minutes and anything else I need to sign, I can just take care of it then. Then Brandolin doesn't have to do a bunch of scanning and sending if that's easier. Either way, I'm good with.
Yep, I will put these and your paperwork in the folder and leave them in Brandolin's office.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And if you'll sign there are 2 sheets that you'll need to sign. I'll need to clean up the bylaws and then print them and have them there for you to sign as well. Because you have to sign off on that too, before we can turn it in. So I will get that there before Thursday.
And we'll put the minutes in there from tonight, so you can sign the minutes as well. We'll just have it all on Thursday. That's a good idea.
And so, hey, Brandon, when these new bylaws are all fixed, can we put those in our binders? And
Yep,
thanks.
yep, we'll update the binders.
And I think a little more discussion related to now that we do have a vacancy, a board vacancy seat. We need to fill it. So how are we gonna do that?
I think it's gonna have to be, did Fernando offer any suggestions? Because I think we really need to stick with a Hispanic member of our community.
I completely agree. Did Fernando give any suggestions?
He did not that I'm aware of.
We also have the bylaws, which are very, well, they stipulate the types of people we need on this board, so we might want to consider where we feel like we may need some more strength. Because it's very prescriptive compared to a typical school board, a typical public school board.
True.
So put your thinking hats on. Who's out there?
I have a couple of names who might be interested, who might be possibilities who would fit that demographic. And I think maybe at this point, do we just give them a call, have somebody give them a call and find out if they have any interest? And then if they do, we can get a letter and a resume and bring it to the next board meeting for anybody who might be interested.
Yeah, see if they're interested and go from there.
Okay. In that case, Brandolyn will need on the next board meeting to review possible candidates.
March is going to be a busy one.
Yes.
Yeah, March will be a long meeting, so just be prepared. We have a lot we have to go over.
Yeah.
Okay, any other board member reflection? Okay, moving on to number 12, confirmation of next board meeting date and time to be held in February. Discussion.
In March, we always miss that.
Yeah. So are we sticking with the 3rd Tuesday of the month, you guys?
So 3rd Tuesday would be St. Patrick's Day, just FYI.
Is it a school day? We can
It
wear
is a
green.
school day.
We'll wear green. I'm good with it.
I'll drink green beer.
Yeah.
So the 17th would be the regular 3rd Tuesday.
Okay.
Is everybody good with that?
That'll be nice, because that desynchronizes my weekly trips to Hawaii. If I can actually show up on time.
So that's the 17th
So we can.
March 17th at 2 o'clock.
at 2 p.m.
Okay.
Do we had moved them to 2 p.m. to accommodate Fernando. Do we want to keep them at 2 p.m.? Is that a good time for everyone?
I
Still?
like to.
Works.
Okay, we'll keep it then.
It's also nice because we get student interaction, which we typically wouldn't get after hours.
Yes, I think that's lovely.
Okay, so the next board meeting will be Tuesday, March 17th at 2 p.m. And the last item is the meeting adjournment for possible action.
You just need to adjourn.
Okay, meeting is adjourned at 3:26 p.m.